So hello everyone. Today we are going to start with dimensioning of SolidWorks drafting. So to start with dimensioning, I am going to select the Smart Dimension option. We have already taken one part here, shown the reference views, and now we are going for Smart Dimensions. So to start with Smart Dimension, select the Smart Dimension option here. It will come in this annotation tab. After selecting the tab, go for Smart Dimension and select the required edges you want to apply the dimensions. So I'm selecting this bottom face here. There should be a format of giving dimensions, such as if I want to give dimension, I'll go for the orientation such as bottom and left side. So all my dimensions should come at the bottom or left side. If vertical, then it should come on left side, and if horizontal, then it should come at bottom side. So this type of dimensioning is preferred in many industries. But when we are giving this dimension here, you can see the color of the dimension is coming very faint here. And if I go for the printout of this sheet, then this dimension also will be printed as faint color only. So to avoid that, first I'll go for layers and I'll make one layer for this dimension showing it in a black color. So to make layers, there is a tab given here, that is layers tab. Suppose if it is not present here, then you can click in this blank space, right click and go for toolbars. Here you will get this option layer. So after selecting layer, you can see that toolbar will appear here. Sometimes it may appear at the lower left side or it comes at upper right side here. So I'll start with layer. I'll go for this layers tab and now I'm going to make one new layer. Select new command and then add here name of the layer. Say OK. Before saying OK, you just need to select the color as well as the line thickness and line type. So I'll keep the line type and thickness as default only, as well as color also as default as black only, and then say OK. You can see one layer has been made known as dimensions. So if I select these dimensions again and change the layer from tables to dimensions, then these dimensions will appear in black color and will be much brighter to observe. Now again, we'll go for Smart Dimension. Select the required side for giving dimensions. Now while giving dimensions, you have to keep in note that the spacing from the baseline we are giving for the dimension should be constant for every dimension. At least it should look visibly constant. Suppose I am giving dimension here in this way, then you can see this spacing and this spacing. It is not constant. So I have to keep this dimension placing here. So now you can see visually it is looking constant, this distance and the other distance. So this spacing matters here. So whatever spacing I have taken here, I am going to continue in this dimension also. So this spacing should be constant in each and every dimension. Next, if I keep this dimension here, you have to keep one more thing in mind, that each dimension having lower value should lie under the bigger value dimension. Now when you put the dimensions here, suppose this value is having 100 mm, this is 60 mm, so it is coming under this 100 mm as this value is smaller. So in this case also, as we have taken this 40 dimension, the value is smaller than 60. So while placing this dimension should not exceed the upper value, it should be placed under the bigger value only, that is 60 mm. It should not exceed 60 or 100 mm here and should be kept here. So this will be the wrong way of placing the dimension. You should position it according to the values only. Lower value should come under the upper value. Now you can see, due to text size, these arrows are coming at outer sides here. Here it were inside only, but this time they are coming outside. So if you want to flip the arrow, select the arrow and click on this dot, the arrow will be flipped here. Now when you want to position this dimension, you can position it in this way. It will be better if you position it at center from the arrows. Say it OK. Now suppose if I want to change the dimension size here, so you can change it by default settings by going in settings option, or you can individually apply the sizes here. If you want to change the particular size of dimension, only one dimension size you have to change, then select that particular dimension and go for this other option at left side. You will get values, leaders and other options. So I'll select this other And here we'll put off this default option, that is use document font. So I'll tick off this option and go for customization of font. Select the font and then in points option I'll go for this change in value. If I want to decrease the size of the dimension, then I'll go for the lower value. So I'll select here as 8 and then say OK. So you can see the text size has been customized here, but that was only for that particular dimension. If I want to apply this text size for all the dimensions given here, then I'll go for this format painter and select the size here, text size, and then click on the other text size which I want to change. So it will copy the text size of the first selection followed by the others. Say it OK. So what this format painter is doing is, it will work as match properties option given in AutoCAD. So whatever change I want to make, I'm going to go here, say other, say put off this document font option, go for font, select the points option and decrease the value here, say it as 10, then say it OK. Now the text size has been changed. I'll go for format painter again. I want to apply this text size to other dimensions also. So first I'll select the dimension which is being changed and then go for the selection which I want to change. Just click on the selection, say it OK. And now this similar size which was earlierly applied for this dimension will be applied for the other dimensions also. So in this way I can change dimensions individually here. And now suppose if I again go for the new value here and put up the value, so it will follow the same size which has been customized by going in others and then putting up the value. Either we can go by this method, or else if you want to change the dimension size from the default settings only, then you can also go for the settings option, select the options command and go for this document properties tab, select the dimensions and then go for this font size. Changing the font size from here, it will change the default font size only. So I'll keep the default font size here as 9 and then say OK. And I'll click on this option also here, that is scale with dimension height. So it will affect the arrow size here. If I put on this option, then the dimension text size will be copied for the arrow size also. Means whenever if I change the font size, the arrow size will automatically get changed here. We don't need to customize the arrow sizes from here. But if you want to customize the arrow size, you can go for these options also by giving the values. So this value stands for total height of the arrow. This value will stand for complete width of the arrow. And this value will stand for the width of the head here. So in this way also you can customize the values of the arrow, or else you just need to click on this option and it will automatically get scaled by the change in dimension text size. So it is better to keep on this option here and then say it OK. So in this way also you can change the default sizes of the text. Just select the text and put on the values here. And suppose if I want to change the precision also, then again I will go for the same options, go for settings, options, document properties, dimensions, and here you will get the precision option, primary precision. This primary precision stands for the value which are giving as a dimension. So I will change the precision here and say it as 0.1 only and then go for OK option. And now you can see the precision of zeros after dimension, it is coming as 0.0 only. Means whatever dimension I am going to take, the precision will be shown in one digit only. That is 0.0. If I again change the precision here, say document properties dimensions and go for the precision 0.000, that is 1, 2, 3. So here 3 digits are coming after the point and then say it OK. You can see the change. After each value, the precision will go in 3 digits value. So this was precision option for dimensioning. The way of dimensioning we have used here is smart dimension option only, which was earlier also used in Sketcher. It is similar to Sketcher only, but minor differences are there. This time you have to keep in mind what the text size has been taken, what are the precisions here we have taken, and how to place the text. So these are the changes which were not been implemented in Sketcher. So what we have seen till now here is how to place the dimension at equal spacing from the baseline, place the dimension at mid from the both arrows, also place the dimension at constant distance from each other. The orientation should be such that if you are going to orient this dimension for horizontal at lower side, then each horizontal dimension should come at lower side of the object. And if you are going for the upper side, then each dimension of horizontal should come at upper side. Same goes with the vertical. If you are orienting the vertical dimension, then either you can go for left side or right side. Then the other thing which we have seen, that is the lower value should be placed within the upper value or higher value. It should not exceed the upper value here. This 200 should come outer side and this 90 value should come at inner sides here. So the next thing we are going to see here is how to put up the center marks and center lines. So for that I am going to go in this annotation tab, and it is very much required before giving the dimensions only that we should put up the center marks and center lines. So I'll put up the center marks here for the holes. So I'll select the center mark option here and then select the hole required so as to put up the center mark. You can see here, I'll select this one also. So there is a center mark being appeared here. If I want to change the center mark size, then I'll put off this default option off and then go for the mark size. I'll say 2 instead of 2.5 and say enter. So this size will be customized here. Say it OK. This way counters sunk holes. So for that also I'm going to go for center mark. Select the center mark option and provide the center mark here. Say it OK again. But if suppose I am going to give one dimension for this center mark from center to this end side, it is showing the value here as 13 mm. Now I know this value stands for this hole as 13 from the bottom side, and this hole is alignment with the first hole. But this is understood by me only as I have created this part. But suppose if this drawing goes for manufacturing, at that time the operator will not understand the distance for this hole is similar to the other hole also. So to understand that these two holes are in alignment and this 13 mm distance stand for both the holes from the bottom side, instead of giving the center mark in this way, I'll delete the center mark here. I'll also delete the dimension here and then again go for center mark. And instead of taking this first option, single center mark, I'll go for this option, that is linear center mark. It is very important option here. Select the linear center mark and then select the two holes. So one mark will appear here with a linear line showing that both the holes are at the same distance from the bottom side. So if I put up the value again here, this 13 mm value, so this 13 mm value will represent the position of both the holes from the bottom side. As this line is being appearing here in between center marks, showing both the holes are at horizontal alignment with each other. So that's why this kind of center mark, that is linear center mark, is very important here. Again, these two holes are in alignment with each other. So I'll put up the center mark first, say linear center mark, and then select both the holes. Both the holes will show a linear center line also here, representing the alignment of them. And then put up the value from the bottom side. So it is coming 12 mm, representing that both the holes stand at 12 mm from the bottom side. So this is linear center mark here. Next thing that is given here is center line. So select the center line option and here I will go for the center line. Now these two extrusions are circular in shape. Now I want one axis to be shown as a common axis for both the circular shapes or extrusions. So I'll select the center line option and click on the surface here. You can see. So again one center line has been added showing the axis for the second extrusion at the bottom side. Say it OK. Here also select the center line option, select the extrusions and center line will appear here. These were the circular shapes, but if I go for the linear shapes, there also we can provide the center lines. So I want one center line to be shown between the two sides of the rectangular cutout. So I'll select both these sides and one center line is being shown. Say it OK. This was center line option. So after putting up the center marks and center line, then only we are going to go for the dimensioning here. Center marks and center line should be given earlier only before providing the dimensions. Next thing, if I put up this dimension for this diameter, so this dimension is coming in this way. The text is aligned with the leader. You can see here, the text has been aligned with the leader. So if I want to change the alignment, I want to put up the text in horizontal position. So I'll select the dimension and then select the leaders option here at left side. Now go for this option, that is custom text position. You can see at the bottom left side custom text position. Select the custom text position option, and here it is showing the alignment of the text with the dimension line. Suppose I want horizontal alignment, then I'll select this option here, that is broken leader horizontal text. So you can see this text has been placed horizontally, and if I go for the third option, the text will be placed after the leader with alignment of the leader, and here the text is placed above the leader with alignment of the leader. So both these options will show the text alignment with the leader only. Only the position of the text will be changed. But if I want horizontal position, then I will go for this mid option. And now the text has been positioned horizontally. You can also see the leader type. Here one line has been highlighted showing the diameter according to which this dimension has been given. So if I don't want this extended line here, so I'll select the dimension again, go for the leaders option, and here you are having multiple types of leaders been given here to display. So if I want to show the radius, I'll select the first option as radius. You can see at the left side. If I want diameter, then I'll go for the diameter. Either you can show the radius or you can go for diameters also. According to protocol, if circle is of 360 degrees completely, then it should be shown by diameter only. But you can go for radius as well as diameter. Both options are given here. If I want to show diameter with linear lines, then I'll select this linear option. So both side arrows will be shown. Suppose I don't want this leader or line to be extended, then just click on this option, that is one arrow open leader. So I'll select this option here. So this line, extended line, will disappear. If I again want that line, I'll select this option. If I want these arrows to be flipped inside or outside, I can go here at the top side. You can see the arrowhead position being oriented by clicking on these options. And suppose if I want this arc extension line or opposite side of the arrow, then I'll put on this option. You can see in both ways we can show. So these are the options given for leader here. Now if you want to put some prefix or suffix for the dimensions given here, you can go for that option also. I'll select this 200 dimension. So as soon as you click on the dimension, now as soon as you click on this dimension, one box will appear in white color showing 4 arrows, and it will expand if I put this arrow position there. And now after expansion, you can see here the dimension properties dialog box will appear, and here you can add suffix and prefix also. So if I want some text above the text, then I'll go for this text on top option and type the text which I want there. So now this text is coming above the dimension. If I want the same text to be taken at prefix side, then it will come before the dimension. You can see here this text is coming before the dimension. I will delete this top text. If I want this text to be coming after the dimension text, so again I'll copy and delete this one here and go for the suffix option and say paste. So now this text is appearing after the value given here. And if I want this text to be taken at the bottom side, I'll paste it on bottom side. Now this text is coming below the dimension value. So if I want to put the brackets here, I'll go for this add parenthesis option. So it will add brackets there. If I want to put off again, I'll again click on the same option. If I want this text to be center aligned, I'll go for this option, that is center dimension. If I want to add some tolerances or values for the unit precision, I can do that also from here. We will see it later. So this was the things to be remembered before putting up the dimensions. In next lecture, we are going to continue with the different dimension types been given here. In this lecture, we have seen what are the formalities to be done before giving the dimensions. In next lecture, we are going to give the dimensions also here using all these options. Till then, thank you, and we will continue the drafting in next lecture.